welcome to 7 Minutes.
Today we're going to take a look back 3 years ago to the sinking of the Lusitania, which killed 1,198 out of the total 1,959 passengers, including 128 Americans.
Put your seatbelts on, everybody, and let's take a trip to the coast of Southern Ireland at Old Head of Kinsale in 1915. The RMS Lusitania was a British ocean liner and one of the world's biggest ships in 1915. It was sunk by a torpedo from a German U-boat on the coast of Southern Ireland at Old Head of Kinsale. Seconds after the torpedo was launched, a second explosion took place and eventually killed 1,198 passengers.
That was some devastating footage, Chloe.
Agreed. Shocking to think that the Lusitania was making its 202nd trip across the Atlantic, and it only made it to the coast of Ireland.
That ship was one of the best and could have gone far in its transports and voyages if it wasn't for the German U-boat U-20. The Lusitania was known for its luxury and fast speed and was built in 1903. Also, the ship's engine was 68,000 horsepower and an average speed of 25 knots.
Wow, I wonder what it would be like to be on that ship while it was sinking.
I can't imagine. Luckily, Barbara Anderson has agreed to answer a few questions and share her tragic experience with us.
Very glad to have her today. She was an American survivor of the Lusitania.
Let's go meet up with her now.
Thanks for meeting us here.
My pleasure.
What was your experience during and before this sudden incident?
It was so scary and unexpected. I remember every little detail. My mother and I were in the dining room of the ship when the torpedo hit. I was eating my pudding, and suddenly a crash shook the boat, followed by yelling and screaming.
How old were you? What did you do next?
I was 2 years old, and we ran to the deck and we were lucky to get some help. Others panicked and jumped off the boat and slipped off as the boat tipped hard to the starboard. William Harkness, the ship's purser, helped us onto a lifeboat. My mother and I were lucky to be one of the 747 other survivors.
Was your mother panicked?
I don't particularly remember that. My mother was pregnant, and I remember her struggling a bit in the midst of the chaos.
You're 5 years old now. Do you know if your mother's still alive?
My mother passed away a year after the sinking, and my brother, who she gave birth to, only lived for 5 months.
So sorry to hear that. Can you tell us how the ship sank?
There was one torpedo which hit the starboard side, but very soon after that there was another explosion. We all just assumed it was another torpedo.
Thank you very much for your time, Barbara. People believe that the Germans fired 2 or 3 torpedoes at this ship, while others said the second explosion was caused by hidden ammunition in the cargo hold.
There are many other causes that could have contributed to the sinking. For example, ships were told to travel at high speed, stay away from shore, and travel in a zigzag pattern.
Captain William Thomas Turner was concerned about fog, so he slowed down and traveled closer to shore in a straight line.
When we come back, we'll have Walter Schwager, the captain of the German U-boat U-20 that sank the Lusitania.
Have you ever found yourself on a sinking ship? Well, if you have, I have just the product for you, a life jacket. Sometimes lifeboats aren't enough, especially if the boat's sinking in a way that you can't get them off. Life jackets are easy to use and they fit perfectly in your suitcase. Life jackets are the thing of the future. Pick one up at your store today. Life jackets will not save you from severe turbulence.
We're here with Walter Schwager, the captain of the German U-boat that sunk the Lusitania.
We just have a few questions for you, Mr. Schwager. Can you tell us why you chose to torpedo the Lusitania?
Well, as Germans and British were trying to blockade each other and prevent transport of war materials.
How many torpedoes did you fire?
Despite what most people thought, we only fired one.
There is a general war code that says you do not destroy ships that are not known to be carrying war materials. Did you know of this?
Yes, I was aware of that, but we were nearly positive that the Lusitania was carrying war materials.
Did the second explosion speed up the sinking?
Yes, I suppose so, but we only launched one torpedo.
Thank you so much, Mr. Schwager. We have heard all we need. We appreciate your input.
Why do you think there was a second explosion?
Well, there could be many reasons. It was definitely caused by a torpedo launched by the German U-boat. There could have been ignition of hidden ammunition in the cargo hold. Others think that coal dust might have kicked up when the torpedo hit.
Yes, there are lots of possibilities. I can't believe the ship sank in 18 minutes, though.
Yes, such a tragic issue.
The sinking of the Lusitania, everyone. See you next time with Alice and I on 7 Minutes.
We're here with Walter Schwager, the captain of the German U-boat that sunk the Lusitania.
We just have a few questions for you, Mr. Schweitzer. Can you tell us...